ingredients. Look, second best kitchen helper ever. Oh, you did decide to come in here. I was wondering. I thought you were going to lose your ranking. First best kitchen helper is also here. I'm sure you can already tell what we're making by the title in the thumbnail of this video. Welcome back to Snow Dog's Cooking, where if I can cook it, so can you. I have no idea if I can do this, but we're going to find out together. We're going to attempt to make German chocolate cookies. So Jamie's birthday was August 1st and my mom's birthday was August 2nd, and they both like German chocolate cake, but my mom already made a cake for the birthday party. So I thought, let's try to make these cookies and see what we think. Let's get to it. And of course, we also have to check in on third best kitchen helper ever, who apparently is snuggling a blanket today. You're adorable. We're cooking in here. I'm going to turn the oven on, so you probably want to stay put. There is a lot of ingredients for this recipe. They will all be listed down in the video description below, but I'm going to try to go over them real quick for you right now. This is for the cookies. We also have to make the topping. So for the cookies, you will need 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. You're going to need 1/3 cup of cocoa powder. You're going to need 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You're going to need 8 tablespoons of butter, which is a whole stick of butter, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, 1/4 cup of not brown sugar, this white sugar, regular sugar, you know. You're going to need a large egg. You're going to need a large egg yolk, which means we have to separate the egg. You're going to need 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. So as I said, that's the ingredients for the cookies. These cookies have like a frosting type of topping that we're going to make as well. So let me give you the ingredients for that. For the frosting, you will need 1/2 cup of evaporated milk. You will need 1/2 cup of sugar. You will need another egg yolk, which means we're going to have to separate this egg again. You're going to need 4 tablespoons of butter, so 1/2 stick. You're going to need 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. You're going to need 1/2 cup of sweetened coconut flakes, 1/2 cup of chopped pecans. Pecans? Do you say pecan or pecan? And then we're going to take a little bit of this and melt it at the end and drizzle over the top of it. So that's everything you're going to need. Let's get to it. First thing we're going to do is start the reason why Kira doesn't like to come in the kitchen. Preheat your oven to 350. First thing we're going to be doing is sifting together all of our dry ingredients. So we're going to put the 1 1/4 cup of flour into here, and then I'm just going to shake it and it will sift it through. If you have a sifter, you can use that as well, but a wire mesh strainer works pretty good. So I have my 1 1/4 cup of flour. I'm going to add my 1/3 cup of cocoa powder right on top of there. 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and I'm using sea salt. And now, as I said, I'm kind of just going to shake this and sift it through. See how it's starting to mix? You can see below it. Pretty much does the same thing as a sifter. If you really want to, you can like stir this up a little bit first, and then just keep shaking it until it's all sifted through. Looks pretty sifted together to me. That worked really well. So now we're going to set this aside and we're going to switch over to our trusty KitchenAid mixer. You can mix this by hand or you can mix it with a hand mixer as well, but we're going to use this. And the first thing we're going to do is add this entire stick of butter, but I'm going to take the wrap off first. Memphis, I don't think there's anything in this that you can try until maybe the frosting. It's a chocolatey cookie. So if you still want to stay in here and help, you're more than welcome to. You are in the middle of the floor though, so I have to keep step over. Yeah, that's okay, don't move. Next, we're going to add 3/4 cup of brown sugar, but I couldn't find my other measure, so I already put 2 in there. Now it's 3/4 cup and 1/4 cup of white sugar. Now we are going to basically cream all this together. The butter is about room temperature. I don't know if I said that, but it is. So we're going to slowly mix that together. Now to this, we're going to add the 1 egg. Drop it right in there. Plus the 1 egg yolk. And yeah, I just do the pour it back and forth method until you get all the white out. Oh, the dogs can eat this. Maybe I'll make them some eggs. 1 egg yolk into the bowl. And yes, even though I didn't feed the dogs any eggs yet, wash your hands after cracking eggs, because you always get egg on your hand when you do it like that. Next, we will be adding 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. All right, so everything is in here, and now we were going to put this on low and slowly mix it all together. It's going to break that egg up, and we're just going to mix this lightly. That almost looks good enough to eat. Now, we're going to slowly add this mixture to this mixture, and I'm just going to do scoops at a time because I don't have the little thing to slide it in slowly. I thought I had one. I don't know where it is. So slowly add your dry ingredient, your flour and stuff mixture, to this and mix it on low. So I slowly added everything, and now I'm just mixing it on low until it all incorporates. Okay, so I've taken my little spatula and I've kind of started to scrape it away from the sides here. It is a very sticky dough. Now we're gonna take 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips and we're gonna fold those in. Don't mix them, fold them in with your spatula. I think I did it. Now, I gotta get my cookie sheet. You're gonna want a 1.5 tablespoon cookie baller. It just makes making these easier. So we're gonna get the cookie sheet ready and start scooping these out. Cookie baller, got my cookie sheet. We're gonna put the cookie right on there. Now the nice thing about this is this should make pretty even sized cookies. They should all be the same size. So we're gonna go ahead and fill this tray. They're on. I think it's gonna work. We're gonna put them in the oven at 350 for 10 minutes. Okay, I think they're working. I have no idea, but we'll find out. Now we're gonna let them cool on this tray for about 10 to 15 minutes. Then we're gonna put them on a cooling rack. First round on the rack, putting the second round in. This should make you about 24 cookies. Okay, so they're all on the tray. The one thing I noticed is the ones that I put in second feel like they're a little bit more dense. These ones kind of cracked a little bit more, but this dough sat out. Maybe I should have refrigerated it in between. It was like 20 minutes because it was 10 minutes and then I let them cool on that tray. But now I have to let them cool completely and then we're gonna make some topping. While those finish cooling, we're gonna make the frosting. We're gonna take a small saucepan over a medium heat and we're gonna add 4 tablespoons of butter. We're gonna add a 1/2 cup of sugar. We're gonna add a 1/2 cup of evaporated milk and egg yolk. I gotta make this stuff for the dogs now. Now we're gonna stir this all together. Make sure it gets nice and stirred. We're gonna cook it over a medium heat. We want everything to kind of melt and blend together, and this will thicken. You can see it's starting to thicken. See how it's bubbling just a little bit? It's been about 10 minutes. I'm gonna remove this from the heat. Look at them, egg whites aren't going to waste. They're really hot though, so you gotta wait a second. You gotta wait until they're cooled and then you can try them. You gotta wait. Did you bump into her? It's not ready yet. So this thickened pretty good. Now we're gonna add a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then a 1/2 cup of the chopped pecans. And a 1/2 cup, a heaping 1/2 cup of the unsweetened coconut, which the dogs will get to try that in a second as well. Would you like to try a little bit of coconut, even though it's sweetened coconut? Sprinkle some for Memphis as she tries to get it all out. Sprinkle some for Kira and sprinkle some for Eleanor. Delicious? I should have put them on your mats, but I think you cleaned it up without any issue. There's some coconuts. So we have stirred all of this together. Now we want to let it cool because you can see it's still really hot and runny. As it cools, it is going to thicken. So we're going to let it sit and cool. All right, it's finally cooled down enough. Would you like to try an eggie? Yeah, I figured you would. Kira is next. And Eleanor. Eleanor, nobody could even see you. Holy cow. One more small piece? How about you? Another small piece? Can you sit on your butt? Sit. Here you go. There you go. It's like, it's very eggy. That's it. You don't need no more. Okay, I have all of the cookies. I have the frosting, which did thicken pretty good. I actually let it cool to about room temperature, and then I put it in the fridge for 10 minutes, and that made it the consistency that I wanted. So now we're going to take this, and we're going to put little spoonfuls on top of all these cookies. No, these are not a cookie you can stack. They need to go on like a plate, because this is never going to get like super solid. That's not the idea behind this. Let's do this. Basically, this is what we're doing. We're taking a small spoonful and just plopping it right on the top. Parchment paper, because I know it's going to be messy. Okay, so this actually worked out way better than I thought it was going to, but we're not quite done yet. Now, we're going to take some of those semi-sweet chalky chips, and we're going to melt them and then drizzle it over the top. Oh my goodness, these look amazing. Okay, so I have melted the chalky chips. See how it's like drizzly? That's what we're looking for. And now I'm just going to drizzle the cookies. So I kind of think these turned out pretty amazing. Greg, look.
They look amazing.
I made one for you without nuts and coconut, so you get to try one too.
They look like big nuts.
They were. They were not chopped,
Are
so I
those
had
pecans
to.
or
Yeah,
what?
they're
Okay.
pecans. I had to chop them myself, so
They're
they're
like a
not
turtle.
chopped. Yeah. Which one you want, Jamie?
Oh, do I just pick one?
Yeah, not that one.
Not that one.
That's my photo cookie.
Okay, I'll take this one.
There you go. You got that one. Greg's
take
got one
this one.
without the topping. It might be a little runny. Don't drop it because the dogs are there. I made you German chocolate cookies for your birthday, hon. Do they taste like German chocolate cake? Does it really?
That's funny.
Oh, Mom's going to love them too then. What do you think, Greg?
It tastes like chocolate.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, you don't
Yeah.
have that coconut.
Greg
flavor
doesn't
on
have
top.
any of the coconut and the nuts on top.
That little bit of chocolate on top is
Yeah.
a little extra.
Really
Yeah?
good.
Yeah? I made cookies
Good.
and they turned out.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see that middle. Oh my goodness. Nice. Yeah, they did. They turned out. Sweet.
Good.
Awesome. All right, we'll save the rest for everybody else. Happy birthday, Jamie. They already went outside, but clearly that was a win. That was a pretty genuine reaction from Jamie right there. That made me happy. So now I have to try them. He's right. It tastes just like German chocolate cake. Look at that. That's so good. So I also like how small these cookies turned out. You could make them bigger and adjust the cooking time and make them more like a crumble cookie if you really wanted to. That's kind of the consistency they have. It's like a crumble cookie. Anyway, you could do that, but I like the size that they are. I have coconut in my teeth. All right, you guys, let us know down in the comments what you'd like to see us make next. Leave us some suggestions. Let us know if you're going to make these as always. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Stay positive, dream big, and we will see you again soon. Goodbye, audience. That's so good. I'm going to finish my cookie now.